We build all types of walls. We build big walls, little walls, thick walls and skinny walls, and on all top of floors. We build schools like this. We build banks. We build hospitals, restaurants, churches, whatever we do, that's what we do. And so how did I get such a job like this? Well, when I was in school, just like you, I was doing mathematics and arithmetic, and I was drawing pictures. And, well, I never knew that I would use it later on, but guess what? All that came back. So it pays to do mathematics and draw pictures. So one day I was in Durham, and I heard that they was building a Durham Bull Stadium. And I said, wow, I would love to work there. And so I had the opportunity to go down there, and they let me start sweeping the floors. And I was like, sweeping the floors? Man, I want to build. So I guess I have to sweep up all the floors, and maybe somebody will give me an opportunity. And that's what I did. And somebody said, well, we're going to teach you how to build. And so when I started learning to build, I realized that I did this in high school. Wait a minute. So that was really great, you know. So you never know what you're going to do now. And then when you're doing your mathematics, or you're doing your science, or you're doing your pictures and drawing, or playing outside, it affects you later on in life. Okay? So what do? Well, I build, absolutely right. So now what they have appointed me to do is to make sure the people are safe. So I have to walk around and make sure that everybody have their PPE. What is PPE? It is personal protection equipment. In other words, what's that? Well, you got to have a hard hat because something might fall on your head, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Or you could fall down and you could be using tools and hurt your hands. So we have to wear gloves. Okay? Now, we may be doing something overhead and we have to protect our eyes. So we have to wear safety glasses. Okay? And so we may be outside, we may be walking around the building, and there's these big trucks that might be backing up and they can't see us, but guess what? They can see the best. So now they're saying, wow, we can see him. Okay, watch out, you know, and they have this big buzzer that comes on when they're backing up so you can hear them and they can see you. So that's why we wear vests, okay? Well, why can't I wear my bedroom shoes? Or why can't I wear my sneakers? No, because you, flip-flops maybe. No, or my Crocs. No, you can't wear them. Why? Because you could step on something and hurt your foot. Yes?
Or something could just fall down like a brick on your foot if you were wearing it.
Absolutely right. And it happens before, yes. And guess what? You can't go to work the next day because you got a sore toe, you know? So sometimes they wear steel on top of their toes. And then some of the boots, they have steel toes. So that way, if something falls on it, it don't hurt your foot. It just falls on the steel, okay? So you have to wear your personal protective equipment. And in some places, it's very hot. And like this summer, it's going to get very hot. And you say, wow, it's so hot, man. Maybe, you know, you start taking off your clothes and taking off your shirt, you know. But sometimes a long sleeve shirt protects you, okay? So therefore, you know what I'm saying, we wear long sleeve shirts when it's hot, okay? So what do I do all day? I walk around to make sure everybody's safe. And not only that, we walk around and we do QC, okay? What is QC? It's quality control. I have to make sure that the walls are level. I have to make sure that the walls and the ceilings are plumb. We have to make sure that we build according to the way somebody drew it. So somebody draws a building just like you draw a building, and somebody wants you to build it exactly the way that you drew it. So we have to build it exactly the way that the architect or the design team, they drew it. So that's what we have to do.
And
okay?
ironically, we had in interior designer come in here yesterday.
Yeah.
She mentioned how she has to make these plans.
Yeah.
So Finn's mom directly gets the plans to this
Yeah.
gentleman, and
Yeah.
he handles the business. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
They give it to our company, they draw these plans, and we get to get the job, and when we get the job, my job call me into the office, and they say, hey, we got another project for you, and I say, okay, and they say, well, here it is. So they give me a strategy of how I'm gonna do it, and they give me direction of where it's at. Like right now, I'm leaving the job today. This is my last day for the job in Durham. Now I'm gonna be going to Raleigh to start a new job, Barton Hayes. I had some cool pictures. Now, another thing, you guys I heard work on computers, and you do a little bit of computer work and all that. Guess what? We have to work on computers too, because these drawings might change. You might say, wow, I like the way I drew my picture, but I think I'm gonna change it. Well, guess what? You can't change it on paper, but you can change it on the computer. So we have to go to the computers, and guess what? We have a computer too. And I keep mine back here in my back. That's why I have a special picture that. So that way I can keep up with my pictures. And I got some cool pictures. I want to show you two pictures. Basically, one is before and the other one is after, okay? And that way we can change it and we can find all the changes and we can follow the changes on the plans, okay? And that's what we do during the day.
Barton Hayes, the pharmacy restaurant?
Barton Hayes is, it's gonna be a community living, community. Healthcare, you know what I'm saying, my understanding, there was another building like Brightmoor that we built, and it's basically the same thing. So they knew that I took part in that, and that's how I got my name on it.
So are you telling us that it's very important that you do your job well and correctly, or you may not get hired for the next job?
Absolutely. If you do a good job, you're guaranteed that someone is gonna recognize your work. And if your work get recognized, guess what? You're gonna get a job again. Yes, you have a question.
What happens if something falls in your mouth?
If something falls on your mouth, well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna find out, are you okay? Do you need to go to urgent care? Because you are the most important person at that time. So therefore, we wanna take care of you. If we have to stop the job from working to take care of you, that's what we're gonna do, because you are very important,
But
okay?
why don't you just wear like
Arthur, we'll do some research.
Yeah, well, you gotta be careful too, okay? And sometimes you have to watch where you're walking, because we have red tape and yellow tape. And red tape means don't cross over that. That's why you got hurt, because you crossed over the red tape. Or the yellow tape say you need to look up before you cross.
And we're gonna
okay?
save the questions for the end.
All right, so here's a picture, you know what I'm saying, before. This is a building where you see all the ugly and all the construction and all the mud and all the raw, you know what I'm saying, it is. And this project was called Fenton and Cary. I don't know if you've been there, but anyway, I'm gonna show you a picture when, we'll show you a picture when it's finished.
Hey, save the questions for later. There's a statement for later.
And here's the picture after.
I wanna go there.
Yeah, and we did this during the pandemic. Yeah, we lost a lot of people because they were sick, and we had to still continue to do it. And it's like we had like 27 buildings, and I believe all of them fell on me one time for 3 months because everybody was sick. So anyway, it pays to
You gotta
pay
keep him up
attention
with the time.
and pays to details,
keep him up with the
because
time.
we have to learn numbers and we have to make sure. And I did bring my gadget. I had a nice cool gadget I wanted you to look. But what I want you to do while I'm here, before I leave, I want each and every one of you to sign or write your name or put a mark, your favorite mark. It doesn't matter if it's your name, your initial. Put it on my hat and a different color magic marker, okay? And then if you'll do that, I'll have everybody's name on here, and I can seal it, and I can wear my cool hat with all my the classmates. Okay? And I can wear that today. Okay? This is my last day at the job, so it'll be cool. All right? And I'll let somebody get started with that, and you can use any color that you want. If they'll pass that around. All right? And your teacher gonna have some cool pencils for you. Okay? Everybody got a flat pencil. I bet you don't have a flat pencil. This is a flat pencil.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know if it's prohibited for me to hand them out, but she can. And so I'll let her deal with that.
I know those.
All right? Now, I probably work with some of your grandfathers or some of your mothers or your fathers. I probably don't work with them before if they're out there in the construction world. I'm sure I've seen them. Now you can ask the questions.
Aiden, go.
Why do you want to be a construction worker?
Well, probably because I did good in math and then it came back. I didn't like it at first, but then it became very important that I count my money, you know, so I need to learn to map and then drawing the pictures and understanding the angles and triangles and squares. It became very interesting. I think it was part of me, so I say I need to go with me. And so when I had an opportunity to build, it's like finishing a project. Once you start it, you want to see the completion. About like your butterflies, you start in the projects. I see a lot of projects around here, and then the completion is what makes you happy to see the finished product. Next.
What time did you have to wake up?
Well, for me, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, while you're still sleeping and while Journey is still sleeping, I am up. And when you get ready to get up, I'm gone.
What happens if something doesn't work out?
If something doesn't work out, we're going to find a solution and make it work out. And if it doesn't come out the way we want it, we're going to tear it down and start all over again. Yep.
A week, a month.
My dad actually stays up until 4 o'clock, and then he sleeps at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah. He's probably
So
working
he
third
stays up
shift.
until the time you wake up.
Okay, back there.
How old are you?
Well,
You go.
I thank God because I just turned 64. Next. Huh?
If you like make it like a house in Roblox.
If you make a house with a
You
robot,
don't know that video game, bro.
It's a Roblox.
you make a house with a robot. Well, I guess I won't be working no more. I'll be sitting at home. I'll be sitting at home because.
He doesn't know what that is.
Second grade, make sure that your questions relate to the.
Okay, any more questions?
Either what you got. Go ahead and say it, brother.
Why? Practicing everywhere.
That is not a joke. That is very seriously. You know what he said? Safety is very serious. Safety is very serious. You know what we do? We want to make sure everybody go home the same way they came, safe. And that's the way to teach us to make sure that you go home safe the same way your parents brought you.
When was the Durham Bulls stadium?
I think it was in 1991 or 1990, 94, somewhere around there. Yeah.
What project are you most proud of?
I think Fenton was the most important because it was during the pandemic and it was very intricate and there was a lot of other companies out there and we had to wear masks and we had to sanitize our hands, we had to examine our people and you know it was very challenging during the pandemic. It's almost like war.
So you telling me you get the most fulfillment from the biggest challenges? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, because
Oh, wow.
we're gonna find that you're gonna find out that some people can't handle a lot of stress or difficult challenges. So we want the challenge so that other people can say, we know somebody that we can get the job to because they can handle challenges. So they're gonna select us every time.
Hey, what's up?
You studying construction worker. You're gonna be a constructor. Okay, continue to sign your name. Sign your name fast. Write your name. Write your mark.
What training did you have to become what you're doing right now?
Well, basically, it is up to the individual to research and find his own knowledge. The drawings that the design team, it actually takes you through A through Z. Whatever you're looking for is in the drawing, but you have to follow the details. If it say turn to page 1, you have to turn to page 1. There's 4 different sides of everything. This is the back, so you have to look at page 8 to see the back. If you want to see the top, you have to look at page 9. If you want to see the front, you know what I'm saying? So that's the type of thing that we do. We follow the details to see the pictures. And then we have to make sure that we build it according to the design team. And it takes a lot of years to learn from bottom. You have to see the finished product. Almost like a watch. Nobody can see the inside of a watch. But on the outside of the watch, it tells time.
It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work to build, absolutely, from ground up. Sometimes it takes a year, sometimes it takes 2 years, and it depends on how big it is. Yes.
What do you like to do now?
Hey.
Well, I built the 2 gardens, and I like to grow a little food. We grew some tomatoes, and I like to cut grass, and sometimes I like to just sit around and read, you know, just read and rest. Next. Well, I have to go and I have to sit down with supervisors to study certain areas that I don't understand. I'll take it to someone that does, and we'll sit down and we'll study it for a whole week until we find out, okay? Now, I did have to go to school to learn Spanish, so that was very challenging, you know? So,
How much Spanish do you know now?
who speaks Spanish in here? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
¿Cómo se llama usted? Leo, mucho gusto. ¿Cómo se llama usted? ¿Cómo se llama? Michael, mucho gusto usted. I've learned I'm able to build a project with it. Actually, I spent 2 years in the country of Panama, and I was able to learn in Central America a little bit. But when I came in construction, I had to teach myself. So I read books, listened to cassettes, watched the Spanish stations, and that's what we have to do, to communicate.
Great, thank you so much. This was really, really, really interesting. Children, let's give Mr. Melvin a
3 claps in a week.
See that, Mark?